All right, we'll come into a nice tall spine when you're ready. Am I a little crooked here? Let's see. Let me fold this. No, that's worse. There we go. I think that's better. Okay, we'll start with that box breathing, finding 4 equal parts breath. For the inhale, and then the hold at the top, and then the exhale, and then the hold at the bottom are all the same count. Maybe you start with a 4 count and see how that works for you. Go ahead and close your eyes and see if you can really sink down into the heart space or down into the belly. And just notice the difference, getting out of your head and down into the heart or just into the body at all. On the inhale, imagine you're breathing a little more length into your spine and the back of your neck. On the exhale, imagine you're breathing a little more softness through the face, the shoulders, the jaw. If this is working for you and you're finding peace here, you can just keep that up. If you're still finding the mind wandering, you can try giving it a little more to do by doing both of those things on the inhale and the exhale. So on the inhale, not only trying to find length in the body and space as you fill your body all the way up with that prana, and then hold at the top. And then on the exhale, feel everything soften and let go. And hold at the bottom. On the next inhale, while you're trying to find all that space and fill your body, you're also letting go, softening the shoulders down the back, softening the jaw and the space behind the eyes. And we're holding. And on the exhale, you're maintaining all that space. You're keeping that lift in the heart, but you're still letting everything continue to soften. Relax a little bit deeper. See if you can keep this deep connection with the breath as we start to move a little bit. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Inhale a little more length through the spine and that whole left side of the neck. On the exhale, see what you can soften as you sink in a little bit. On the next inhale, see if you can lengthen and soften. Slowly let the head fall forward and start to make big, slow circles with the head and the neck. I always think it's an interesting little check-in. Like sometimes birds sound so peaceful and it's nice. And sometimes you're like, shut up. And maybe there's certain birds that are just annoying. I don't know, but I always find it to be like usually just a reflection of my own state. I'm like, uh-oh, the birds are annoying me. I better watch out. Watch out for myself today. Slowly come back to center. Inhale, a little bit of length. Exhale, left ear towards left shoulder. Soften. This inhale, lengthen and soften. See how much you can let go on this exhale. He stopped. Slowly let the head fall forward and start to make those big, slow circles. All the other ones sound really nice. It was just that one. Slowly come back to stillness in the center. Inhale, arms up overhead. Get long. Exhale, turn and twist to the right. Inhale, lengthen up, fill up. Exhale, soften and deepen the twist. This inhale, do all the things. Lengthen, fill up, and soften. Exhale, soften more. Deepen the twist. Inhale, come back to center. Root down to rise up, fill up. Exhale, turn and twist to the left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften and deepen. This inhale and exhale will do all the things. Inhale, come back to center. Squeeze your palms together and lower your hands to your heart. Now we're just going to sit with our legs crossed and grab opposite knees with our hands. And we're going to do a little cat-cow here as we round everything back, tucking the chin to the chest, pulling the belly button back into the spine. Inhale, pull on the knees to pull the heart forward. Start to look up. Move with your own breath, still finding that little pause between the inhale and the exhale. And slowly come back, hands to heart, lengthen up through the crown. Close your eyes and use this time to set a little intention for your practice. Maybe it's just to stay with your breath. Maybe it's to stay down in the heart space or in the body and not in the head. All right, now we're going to come onto the hands and knees and get a nice tabletop setup. Your fingers spread nice and wide. And start to do a little cat-cow motion with the spine. Inhale, dropping the belly low, shining the heart forward. Take your time. Press through the fingers and knuckles a little more. On your next inhale, as you lower the heart down, lower the elbows down to the ground. Let your head be heavy. Press your hips back towards your heels. Coming into a child's pose, but finding more length here just by having dropped those hands and elbows down first. Let your forehead rest and find that stretch under your upper arms here as you press the sit bones back and soften through the armpits. Now bring your hands into prayer right behind your head and walk your elbows forward just a little bit more. Pressing those sit bones back. Slowly release your hands back down. Come back up, hands and knees. Inhale, drop the belly low, shine the heart forward, curl the toes under. On the exhale, round all the way up to downward facing dog. We're gonna move really slowly and do that a couple times. So on the pause between the breath, lower the knees back down. On the inhale, drop the belly, shine the heart forward, fill all the way up and hold. On the exhale, find that rounding motion and then lift the sit bones up and back. Find that downward facing dog. Keep the breath suspended out as you lower the knees down. Let the inhale take the heart forward and fill you all the way up. Look up, stick the tailbone up, hold here. Exhale, tuck the chin, round it up to downward facing dog. Take your time. One more time, lower the knees back down. Let the inhale shine the heart forward. Exhale, round it up, downward facing dog. We're gonna hold here. So move around however you like here. Maybe pedaling it out or swaying the hips. Or maybe getting right into stillness here. Press through your fingers and knuckles a little more. Draw the shoulders softly out of the ears. Slowly walk the hands back just about 6 inches or so. Find that shortened down dog. Let the head be heavy. Reach the right hand back for the outside of the left calf or ankle. Try not to let your whole structure tilt here. Press into the left hand more to keep those sit bones pressing up evenly. Sinking into the heels evenly. Head is heavy. Breath is deep. Slowly release. Right hand roots down. Left hand reaches back. Try to straighten things out. Find a little more length. A little more softness. And release. Now walk your hands all the way back to meet your feet. Inhale to lift up halfway. And exhale to fold. Let your head hang, shake it out. Grab your elbows and start to sway a little bit. Start pressing down into the feet. Hi. What's your doing? All right, release your arms, press into your feet, slowly roll up. Let your arms and head be heavy. Chin untucks last, heart lifts, shoulders draw down the back. Step your feet together. Inhale, arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, release your index finger. Try to glue your palms together. So your biceps are with your ears. See if you can squeeze your head with your arms as you reach up out of the waist. See if you can soften your shoulders down your back. Press down into the feet and drop your arms over to the right. So your whole feet are pressing into the ground, but drop a little more weight into your heels. As you press those hips out to the left and reach out to the right. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, drop it to the left. See how long you can make this exhale last as you sink into your heels. Inhale, back through center, hold on to it, find a little more space. Exhale, drop it to the right. Try to squeeze your head with your straight arms, soften your shoulders down the back. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to the center, drop your head back, find a little backward bend. Press the hips forward, lift the heart up, reach back through your fingers. Inhale, slowly come up, hinge at the hips, reach forward. Exhale all the way down. Pull the belly in and up, release the hands, fold your body in half. Step your feet together if they're not, bend your knees a lot. Reach around and step on all 10 fingers back behind your heels if you can. See if you can get your forearms to touch back there behind your calves. Wrap them around back there. Bend your knees as much as you need to get your whole body touching your legs, even your face, pressing into your legs. Then you can start to pull on the heels and straighten into the legs a little bit if you want to. Pulling the head down towards the feet, pulling the shoulders up out of the ears, belly in and up out of the way. Start to rock a little weight into the balls of the feet, lifting those sit bones up and back, maybe starting to straighten into the legs a little bit. See if you can make your breath last a little bit longer. See if you can find that little pause between each breath. Next inhale, find a little more length. Next exhale, find a little more softness. Then next inhale and exhale, see if you can do both. And release, walk your hands forward, find that plank pose. Find that nice long line of energy, take your time. See if you can find a little more length on the inhale, a little more softness on the exhale. Then see if you can do both for a couple of breaths here, finding that strength in your arms, with that softness through your face and your shoulders. That little pause between each breath. Rock forward onto your toes, slowly lower down, either knees, chest, chin, baby cobra, or chaturanga, take your time. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. If you want to stop through child's pose on your way, feel free. Inhale up on the tippy toes, roll it forward into plank. Exhale it back up, downward facing dog. Feel the breath fueling the movement here. As you inhale, feel that ripple of the spine forward into plank, lengthening out. Find that pause. Exhale, lift from the core as you press those sit bones up and maybe straighten into the legs, sinking into the heels. One more time, inhale up on the toes, ripple forward to plank. Slowly lower down, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, baby cobra. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Staying here for a couple breaths. So maybe one breath, you find length on the inhale and then softness on the exhale. And the next breath, you try to do both. Maybe you rotate. Just giving your mind something to do so it's not wandering. Shift your gaze up between your hands, bend your knees, and walk or hop to the top. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Spread your feet as wide as your hips. Hook your peace sign fingers around your big toes. Inhale, shine your heart forward. Find a nice flat spine, rolling the shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Pull your head down towards your feet. Pull your shoulders up out of the ears and fold yourself in half, belly in, out of the way. Tipping weight into the balls of the feet to lift those sit bones up and back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. Next two breaths, try to do it all. Release your grip, press into the feet. Either roll up or reverse swan dive. Come all the way up, maybe find a little backward bend. Exhale, hands to heart. And hands down by your side. Step your feet together. Inhale, arms up. Interlace fingers, release index finger, glue palms. Biceps back, chin up. See if you can squeeze your head and soften the shoulders down. Now we'll drop it to the right and we're gonna hold here for a few breaths. Drop a little weight into the heels. Try to straighten into the arms. Imagine the right hand is pulling that left arm up and over as you press the hips out to the left. See if you can squeeze your head and glue the palms. See if you can find a little more length on the inhale, a little more softness on the exhale. And for this last inhale and exhale, see if you can do it all. Slowly come back up. Exhale, drop it to the left. Slowly come back up, find a little backward bend, drop the head back, lift the heart up. Inhale, come up, feel this hinge at the hips as you press down through the feet. Reaching forward, lengthen all the way, empty all the air. One more time, step your feet together, bend your knees, reach around, step on all 10 fingers. Maybe forearms get a little closer together back there behind your calves. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Press the face into the thighs and then maybe start to straighten into the legs. Pull the head down towards the feet a little more. Softly draw the shoulders out of the ears. Inhale, find length in the spine, the back of the neck, the legs. Find that pause between the breath. On the exhale, see what you can soften. Face, shoulders, jaw. Two more breaths. See if you can lengthen and soften. See how long you can make them last. And release. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. And now roll to the outside edge of the left foot, reach the right arm up, side plank. Press down into the left hand, lift the hips a little higher. Reach the right arm up alongside the ear and lengthen through the right side. Roll the heart up towards the ceiling just a touch. Come back to plank, slowly lower, chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale high on the toes, ripple forward into plank. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale onto the toes, ripple forward into the plank. Roll to the outside edge of the right foot. Reach the left arm up, side plank, other side. Hips lifting, heart rolling up towards the sky. Left arm reaches up alongside the ear. Slowly come back to plank, lower through chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Shift your gaze up between your hands, bend your knees and walk or hop to the top. Inhale, lift up halfway, and exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart, and hands down by your sides. Now we're gonna lift the right heel right up into the center line of the body, cupping the toes with the left fingers, bring the right hand to the heart. And see if you can root down into the left foot a little more to grow up a little taller. Pressing the hips forward, letting that knee fall back a little bit. Maybe the right hand reaches around behind the back, trying to grab the big toe with the peace sign fingers. Maybe it can only grab the elbow and start to work its way down. All right, keep rooting down to rise up like a tree, reaching for the sun. On the inhale, see what you can lengthen. On the exhale, see what you can soften. And for these last couple breaths, see if you can do all the things. Maybe you're starting to fold forward, reaching your fingers for the ground. Slowly, gently release. Lower the right foot down. Lift that left heel up into center line, cupping the toes with the right fingers. Bring the left hand to the heart and start rooting to rise. Maybe reach around for that big toe, grabbing whatever you can. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, the back of the neck, that right leg. Exhale, soften through the face, the shoulders. Now see if you can do it all and find that pause between each breath. Finding that nice balance of strength and surrender on each breath. Yeah, maybe you're starting to fold forward. And slowly release. Now step your feet as wide as your hips. A little unlevel ground here. Get the outside edge of your feet parallel to each other. Reach your hands forward, palms face down. And now without moving the knees, lower the booty back behind you. So the knees bend, but they don't pop forward because they stay stacked over the ankles, yeah? See if you can get your thighs parallel to the ground, just like the arms. See if you can keep the same distance between the hands, the knees, and the feet. See if you can drop a little more weight into your heels as you draw the upper body back more. Shooting energy out through your fingertips so you don't fall down backwards. Pull the belly in. Lengthen through the spine and the back of the neck. Soften through the face and shoulders. See if you can do all those things on this inhale. And exhale. Press into the feet. Slowly come all the way up. Come up on the tippy toes and roll forward into the knees. Lowering the booty back behind you till the thighs are parallel to the ground again, just like the arms. Same distance between the hands, the knees, and the feet. Once the thighs are parallel to the ground, you can look down to see, but then look forward again so your chin is parallel to the ground. See if you can come up higher on the toes. Draw the upper body back more. Shoot energy out through those fingers. Keep the shoulders soft. Pull the belly in. Find your breath. Slowly come back up. Lower the heels down. Squeeze the knees together and drop the tail. So it's maybe the slightest tuck of the tailbone, but it's really just a lengthening of the spine. Imagine pressing your back into an imaginary wall behind you and then slowly slide down the wall. If your heels start to come off the ground, that's okay. That might just happen here, that's okay. Slowly come down to your hips are just a couple inches away from your heels. Keep squeezing your knees together and then roll them down and forward. So if there was something sitting on your lap, it would roll right off. Thighs parallel to the ground, arms parallel to the ground. Pull your belly in. If you feel okay here, you can bounce if you want to. You can bounce if you want to. Now way slower than you want to. Start to come back up. Squeeze the knees together. Come all the way up. Good. Step the feet together. Lower your hands by your sides. Close your eyes. Find your breath. On the inhale, grow a little taller. On the exhale, grow a little softer. See if you can do both on this inhale. Make it the biggest, longest breath. Inhale, arms up overhead. Squeeze your palms together. Lift your fingers high. Exhale, swan dive. Press down into the feet. Engage your core. Empty all the air. That inhale lifts you halfway up and fills you all the way up. Shine the heart forward. Exhale, chaturanga, or skip that vinyasa and just meet back in downward facing dog. Take your time, find your breath. Oh, in our little pause at the top, we were supposed to come back to our intention. So do that right here. Just remember what your intention was and let go of whether you've been doing it or not. And just let this breath be an invitation to start again. Okay, inhale, lifts the right foot high. Exhale, draws the knee all the way to the nose. Step it through. Spin the left heel out and down. Rise up, warrior one. Take your time and set it up. Press the right knee forward. Notice if it's trying to go off in either direction and set it straight. Drawing the right hip back a little bit. Press down into the feet and reach up out of the waist. Now feel the feet rooting down to lift the heart a little more. Feel the face and shoulders softening down as the hands reach up. Feel the hips trying to face the front of the mat as the right hip draws back into the socket and the left hip inches forward. On this inhale, find a little more space. Lengthen out, fill up. On the exhale, find a little softness. One more breath through all the things. On this inhale, you lengthen and soften. On this exhale, see what you can let go of, but keep all that space. Bring your hands to your heart. Press your right knee forward. Hinge forward, lengthening through the crown. Turn and twist to the right. Hook the elbow outside the knee for leverage. Use that leverage. Twist your spine open. Keep pressing the right knee forward. If you can, keep rooting down into that left foot. If that feels like too much of a twist or too hard to balance, you can come up on those back toes. All right, so right knee, set it straight again. Straight out over that second toe, not off to either side, right? Use leverage. Push your right hand down into your left to roll the heart towards the thumbs, maybe placing the thumbs on the center of the chest. Maybe you start to look up and roll that right shoulder back a little more. On the inhale, lengthen your spine in the back of your neck. On the exhale, soften through the face and the shoulders. One more breath. Inhale, lengthen and soften. Find a little more space. Twist into it. Exhale, see what you can let go of. Slowly come back up, warrior one. And now open it up, warrior two. Hips turn towards the long edge now. Find your breath. Check in with that knee. Set it straight if you need to. Press down into the feet. Gaze out over the right fingertips. Sink in just a little bit more. Find a little more of a wingspan as you reach forward and reach back. On the inhale, see what you can lengthen. On the exhale, see what you can soften. And for the last two breaths, find that nice balance of strength and surrender, finding length and letting go. Inhale, reverse it. Bend the right knee even more. Reach the right hand up. Exhale, cartwheel hands to mat, chaturanga. Kneading back in downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot reaches up. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through. Right heel spins out and down. Warrior one, set it up. Set that knee straight. Try to get the hips facing that long edge. Press the left knee forward more. Maybe left thigh gets parallel. Find that maximum wingspan. Gaze out over the left hand. Use your breath. Oh wait, did we do warrior one? And twist? No. No, aren't we supposed to be doing warrior one? Yeah, warrior one. And then we twist, right? Come back to warrior one. And bring the hands to the heart. Turn and twist to the left this time. Coming up on that back toe if you need to, otherwise pressing into the feet, inhaling length into the crown, softness into the face and shoulders, twisting the spine open, Twisting the heart towards the thumbs, towards the sky. Slowly come back up, warrior one, and open up warrior two. We won't hold long since we were already here. Just sink right in. Keep the left knee deeply bent and reverse it. Left hand reaches up. Exhale, cartwheel hands to mat, chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale up onto the toes, ripple forward into plank. Roll to the outside edge of the left foot, roll the right arm up, side plank. Keep the hips lifting, reach the right arm up alongside the ear, step the right foot behind you, flip it over like Wild Thing. Keep lifting through the heart, relaxing the head and the neck. Slowly come back to plank, lower through chaturanga. Meeting back in downward facing dog, or skipping the vinyasa if you like. Inhale onto the toes, ripple forward into plank, roll to the outside edge of the right foot, side plank, other side. Find your breath, find the length through the left side as that arm reaches up alongside the ear. Step the left foot behind you, flip it over. Root down into that right hand to lift the hips and lift the heart. Slowly come back to plank. Optional vinyasa, meeting back in downward facing dog. Now step your right foot in about halfway between your left foot and your hands. Keep pressing into your hands and think about the strength in your arms here. As you kick the left foot, see if you can float the right foot up off the ground an inch or two, letting your head become heavy, letting your arms become stacked, shoulders over elbows over wrists. Maybe you can stack your hips over your shoulders for a second. Stay with your breath. And if you get tired, go ahead and switch. Step the right foot back, step the left foot in halfway. Stay up on the ball of that left foot. Press through the fingers and the knuckles. See if you can get a little bit of hang time here. And when you're done, go ahead and find a child's pose. If you'd rather play in handstands or an arm balance for a couple breaths, feel free. Or come into a child's pose, letting your forehead rest on the ground. Maybe coming back to that box breathing for a moment. Let's slowly come back up, downward facing dog. Take your time, press into your hands. Engage your core and send those sit bones up and back, maybe straightening into the legs. Slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Spread your feet as wide as your hips. Slide your fingers under your toes all the way to the crease in your wrist. Try to get the wrist bones all the way down by rocking weight into your toes. Pull your head down towards your feet. Pull your shoulders up out of your ears. On the inhale, see if you can lengthen the backs of the legs, the spine, the back of the neck. On the exhale, see what you can soften. For these last two breaths, see if you can lengthen and soften. See how long you can make them last. See if you can find that little pause in between. And release, press into the feet, reverse swan dive, come all the way up, find a little backward bend. Exhale, hands to heart. And hands down by your sides. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Now just step the right foot forward a couple feet. Keep both your hips facing forward, but go ahead and turn that left foot out just a little bit, just like 45 degrees for pyramid pose. All right, you can keep your hands here if you like. You can interlace your fingers back behind you if you like. You can try to bring your hands into prayer back there. But press down into the feet. See if you can keep the legs straight. And see if you can feel this hinge at the hips. Really feel the feet pressing down. Start to press down into the right foot even more than the left to keep the right hip lifting, to keep the hips the same height. Pull the belly out of the way. See if you can tuck your chin to your chest and touch your forehead to your leg. Softly draw the shoulders out of the ears. Use your breath. Use the inhale to lengthen and the exhale to soften. If you can, do all the things for the last couple breaths. Slowly lower your hands down to the ground. Keep your left hand either on the ground or on your shin as you peel the right arm up. See about stacking the shoulders as you open the heart up. See if you can lengthen from the sit bones to the crown. Press down into the feet. Roll that right shoulder back a little more. Maybe you gaze up at it. Pull the belly in out of the way. Use your breath. Inhale, lengthens. Exhale, softens. Or maybe you can do it all. Slowly lower the right hand back down. I think I just saw a hummingbird. Step the left foot forward to meet the right. Bend the knees, sweep the arms back. Find a chair pose. Sink into your heels a little bit more. Lower down a little bit more. Lower the booty. Pull the belly in. Draw the upper body back. Stand up. Find a little backward bend. Exhale, hands to heart. And hands down by your sides. Okay, hands to heart again. Maybe they stay here, or maybe you interlace your fingers behind you, or bring your hands into prayer back there. We'll set up for pyramid pose, other side. Left foot just steps forward, a couple feet. Right toes kick out to 45, but both hips stay facing forward. Feet pressing down, belly drawing in, lengthen out, keeping the legs straight if you can. Start to tuck the chin. See if you can bring the forehead down to touch the legs. See if you can press into the left foot a little more to lift the left hip up a little more. Use your breath. See how long you can make it last. And release the hands down. Right hand stays down. Left arm rolls up. Press into the feet. Try to level the hips. Gaze up at the left hand. Roll that left shoulder back. Find your breath. Slowly lower the left hand back down. Step the right foot forward to meet the left. Sink into the heels. Drop into that chair. Find your breath. Now every exhale, slowly lower the booty another inch or two towards the ground till you eventually come all the way down to boat pose. You can use the hands if you need to soften the fall. Coming into a boat pose at the top of the mat, either grabbing the backs of your knees or straightening the arms and the legs. Squeeze your legs together, reach out through the balls of the feet. Find your breath. Inhale, lengthen to a hover, hugging everything into center line. Inhale, or exhale, come back up. Oh, I'm on a hill, it's really hard. Move at your own pace. Inhale, lengthen to a hover. I'm gonna flip around. Exhale, come back up. Whenever you've had enough, just hug your knees into your chest, roll back onto your back. And then find a happy baby, grabbing the outside edge of your feet, tucking the chin a little bit. Maybe you want to straighten your legs out wide to the sides, grabbing those big toes with the peace sign fingers. Maybe you can get the lower vertebrae in the butt a little closer to the ground and tuck the chin a little more. Maybe you're still rocking a little bit. Now see if you can rock up to a seat, holding onto your feet. I probably can't do it on this slope. Oh, I think I did it. Keep kicking, keep lifting through the heart, softening through the face and shoulders. Find your breath. And now release your feet down in front of you into a butterfly pose. Bring the soles of your feet together. So you can decide how close your heels are to your body. See what feels right. Start to lower your knees down. Maybe your elbows can help you lower those knees down a little bit as you start to fold forward. Maybe it feels good to peel the feet open like a book, peeling those balls of the feet away from each other. Letting your head become heavy. Find your breath. Slowly come back up. And we're going to straighten the right leg out in front. We're going to peel the left leg back behind, maybe moving that calf muscle out of the way so you can get both sit bones down flat here. You might need to place something under your right cheek to get yourself level. So you're not sitting on the foot, the toes are pointing straight back right alongside of you here. So you can get those sit bones level. And then we're going to reach for the right foot. Keep the length in your spine. See what you can grab a hold of. And then keep lifting the heart and drawing it a little closer to the foot. Kicking through that right heel if you can. Inhale, see what you can lengthen. Exhale, see what you can soften. Now see if you can come back to the box breath and find that length and softness on the inhale and the exhale. Slowly come back up. And now if this just feels like a lot and you need to get out of it, go right ahead. But if you want to stretch that hip flexor even more, slowly come back onto the elbows, maybe all the way back onto the back. Maybe you need a bolster or something to lay your body on. Or maybe you can bring the top of the head to the mat. Maybe then the back of the head. Try to keep that left knee down if you can. If you still want more, see if you can grab the elbows up overhead and start to draw them down into the mat as you tuck the chin towards the chest and find a little bit of a backward bend. Keeping your booty down but lifting the heart a little bit. Find your breath. Use your breath. See if you can find that 4 equal parts. Slowly release, come back up to the elbows. If you feel kind of stuck, you can roll over onto your right side to get out of this. Otherwise, slowly come back up and help that left leg straighten. Maybe shaking your toes a little bit. And now peel that right leg back behind. Move that big calf muscle out of the way so you can sit that right sit bone down, maybe sticking something under the left cheek now. Kick out through the left heel, lengthen through the spine, walk your hands forward, grab whatever you can, and keep lifting through the heart and drawing it a little closer to the left foot. Pull the belly in, kick through the left heel. Use your inhale to lengthen, your exhale to soften. Maybe trying to do both for these last couple of breaths, maybe finding that 4 equal parts breath. slowly come back up. And if you're still okay sitting like this, maybe you drop back to the elbows. Take your time, use your breath. Maybe top of the head lowers to the mat, maybe back of the head. Maybe you grab those opposite elbows. Slowly release. If you need to roll onto your side, you can. Otherwise, slowly come up and help that right leg to straighten out in front and maybe wiggle it out a little bit. All right, bring both feet flat on the ground. Reach your hands forward and slowly roll back onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Now grab your elbows around your knees and squeeze your knees in tight. Tuck your chin a little bit. Your head's on the mat, but your chin is slightly tucked. Shoulders drawing into the ground. Squeeze those knees in more. Now imagine you were going to roll the feet down so they were flat on the ground, just to try to get the lower vertebrae and the booty down on the ground, to get the whole spine flat on the ground here. Now lower the feet down flat on the ground. Cross the right knee over the left. Lift the left foot off the ground and interlace the fingers around that left thigh. Lower your head back down, but tuck your chin a little bit and keep drawing that left thigh in a little closer to your body. Maybe the right knee starts to fall away from you towards the front of the mat. Maybe you adjust the height of the left foot a little bit and really find that stretch in the outside of the right hip. Find that 4 equal parts breath. See what you can let go on the inhale and the exhale. Slowly release your grip, but keep that foot crossed. Lower the left foot back down till it's flat. Cactus the arms. Let the lower body fall to the left till the right foot's flat on the ground. And then gaze out over the right hand. Maybe you slide that left heel in a little closer to your glute. Maybe you let the right knee fall open a little bit, away from you towards the front of the mat. Slowly release, come back to center, hug your knees into your chest, hug your forehead in to touch your knees, squeeze everything in tight. Lower your feet down, cross your left knee over your right, lift your right foot up, interlace your fingers around your right thigh, lower your head back down, tuck your chin. Keep hugging that thigh in as the left knee falls out away from you. Play with the height of that right foot. Keep your foot crossed, release your grip, lower that right foot down, cactus the arms. Let the lower body fall to the right till the left foot's flat. Right heel sneaks in a little closer to the glute. Left glute tries to lower to the ground as the left knee falls open towards the front. Gazing out over the left hand, relax your shoulders. Relax your face. Find that 4 equal parts breath and see what you can let go here. Slowly release, come back to center, hug your knees into your chest. Now lower your feet down flat on the mat as wide as the mat. Bring your arms out like cactus and slowly let your knees fall to the right. Gazing out over the left. Slowly come back to center and then drop your knees to the left and gaze out over the right. Now you can move with each breath or you can stay in each part for a breath or two. Whatever feels good. After you windshield wiper a couple times to each side, if you want to stay on one side and hook your heel on top of your knee to find a little more of a twist, you can. So if your knees are dropping to the right, maybe that right heel hooks that left knee and you gaze out over the left. Or maybe you just keep dropping the knees from side to side. If you are holding one knee with your heel, go ahead and switch. Or you can windshield wiper a couple times in between the switch if you like. Slowly release. And a couple more times, side to side with those knees. And when you're ready, we'll let the legs go long on the mat. If you want to hug your knees in one last time, you can. When you're ready, we'll come into our final pose, corpse pose. And we'll lay our body down to rest. Spreading your feet as wide as your mat. Letting your toes fall open. Close your eyes. Now we're going to breathe together a couple times, so go ahead and empty all the air out. And on this inhale, try to breathe so slowly that you can't even tell the air is coming through the nose or down the throat. Imagine it's coming through your skin, through every pore in your body, from your toes to your crown. See how long you can make it last and how evenly distributed across the whole body. You can let that inhale permeate in through. Hold on to it as long as you can and then find a little pause. And then the exhale just as slowly, letting it go through every pore in your body, allowing it to soften every muscle, every bone, every cell. So again, just the slowest, softest, longest breath, breathing into every cell in your body, oxygenating every part of you, filling every part of you all the way up. Keeping all that fullness, all that oxygen, but on that exhale, seeing what you can soften as you exhale out through the membrane of the skin. All right, today's the day. You're gonna let go a little deeper than you ever have. Go ahead and grant yourself permission. Use your breath to find that next layer and let go just a little bit more. Before you invite this deeper breath back into the body, invite the joy of being back in with this breath. Allow it to fill your being. And as you start to find a little bit of movement through the fingers and the toes, feel that sensation of being alive, of having a body. And see if you can feel that joy of being along with it, finding that gratitude for being here in a body, even though sometimes it's very confusing and there's a lot of tension. See if you can just invite that joy of being in a little bit more. When you're ready, we'll roll on to either side and see if you can come back to that intention. And instead of looking at this as the end of your practice, look at this as just the beginning. This was just to help you get in the right space so that you can carry out that intention all through the day. All right? So see if you can stay with your breath. Maybe continue to monitor the thoughts, or just continue to give your mind something to do by monitoring the breath. So you can stay in the moment. When you're ready, go ahead and press yourself back up to a seat. Finding a nice tall spine like we started. Inhale, arms up overhead, squeeze the palms together, lift the heart. Draw the hands to heart center. Let the head bow to the wisdom of the heart. We'll end with the eternal sound of Om. Empty all the air. Inhale, fill all the way up. Lift the thumbs to that space above the eyebrows. Take a moment to thank yourself for showing up. May all beings everywhere be free from pain and suffering. May our thoughts and actions in some way contribute to that. Namaste. Is your brother left inside? Is that why you didn't?